Welcome back to Tony's Top Tips Workshop. What it is today is I've had a number of requests on a Mother's Day item that I just briefly showed on what the LC40 laser engraver could do. That was the item. I didn't do the frame, I just did the insert that's in there. As you can see, it's whiteboard, it's painted and it's engraved. And somebody said, how do you get it with such good detail on and none of the paint burning? Well, I'm going to show you that for future reference. You can do it with any colour paint, and I use it's not an expensive paint. It's a Turner and Grey. It's from one of the local cheap shops. So won't mention any names. It's quick drying satin white, brilliant white, non-yellowing. That's all it is. It's water based, it's quick drying. And all I do is, I'm going to go through the procedure with it, is I paint the board first, couple of coats, let it dry, then I engrave it and cut it, and then I'll show you how we clean it up afterwards. I've had lots of sort of comments saying that none of the white was burnt. Why was it not burnt? Well, whether I do it on the CO2 laser or whether I do it on the actual LC40, the diode, or the Xtool. I'll show you another one. That's another one I do. That's a Christmas one. That's done the same way. That goes on top of a Christmas Eve box, and once I've engraved it, this is done on the CO2, then I can paint it afterwards. It's down about half a mil, possibly 0.75 of a mil. It's not that deep, but it enables you to get a clean edge when you're painting in, and I use some paint pens to do that with. That's not finished yet. I'll go through the process with you and show you what I exactly use. Right, here we are back. That's the paint. You get an old jam jar. That's all that is. And I always mix it 50-50. So you don't need a right lot for it. So as you can see, look, it's quite watery as it is, but in order to, I always give it a stir. Couple of tablespoons, it's quite sufficient. Pop that up there. Washes off with, because it's water based, it washes off, and it's quick drying, so it washes off with a damp cloth. Right, so as you can see there, just give it a quick, make sure there's no lumps in it. And what I do is I add a little bit of water. It's just to thin it down a little bit. Give it a stir. You want it a little bit thicker than the consistency of milk. How can I say? Well, there we go. Just a little bit more. obviously you'll have to judge it by what paint you actually use or purchase, but it needs to be the water based. Right, that's mixed. Right, this is the board that I use. It's about 3mm MDF, A4 size, reasonably cheap, and they're reasonably smooth on either side. And you'll find out that when you've sprayed it, it will cup. That's normal. But it doesn't matter, because when it goes in the frame it flattens out, and it's very flexible, and it's easy for the diode laser to cut it. And the first thing I do is, with a bit of well used, I use the like silica carbide paper, and it's white, and it's very smooth, but it's enough just to take any high spots off of this. You see a little bit can you see that? Well, that's all you need. Paper towel, and just wipe that. Right, I use a small airbrush compressor. That's all I use. I've never tried this painting it on, but there's no reason why, if you get a smooth enough finish, that you can paint it. This is just a small touch-up gun that I use, and it's ideal. Doesn't put too much on, and it's a small cup, so it works out quite well. They're only cheap, these. Get them off eBay, and I think they're about £15. So we've got a little airbrush compressor, but it works pretty good. Don't need a lot of pressure for it. About 25-30 psi, that's about it. First thing I do is load the, you can see, on the couple. What I do is I always do a bit of a test piece, so make sure that it's coming out of the gun okay once you've adjusted it. And then I've put a piece of, because it's only like this, the nozzle would actually, the spray gun would actually blow this off the table. So I put a piece of, I do it with the board as well, a piece of double-sided tape on, just to hold it in place, and it gives you a little bit of a lip. And then what you do is not too much on the first coat. You see that? You see that? What I do now is, once I know that that's sprayed okay, I know that the gun's set correctly, and then I can use to do the board. Right, here we are. This is the piece that I'm going to spray. Give it a little blow off. Then it's a simple case of first coat. Don't worry about it looking patchy, because you're not trying to cover it in one coat. That's the thing about it, is because you thin the paint down, it obviously the coverage isn't there. But what I'll do after this one is I'll show you, I'll change, that's just a cheap airbrush nozzle just to show you that you can do it, and I'll change to a little bit better touch-up gun. Right, this is a little bit better gun. It's a little bit more expensive, and it holds quite, you can put the other cup on this, it does fit, but this carries a little bit more paint, but it does all the cups, but obviously that would go rather quickly compared to this one. This will cover quicker and it'll give you a bit better coat, and it'll take a slightly thicker paint. So the only reason why I'm changing this, I like this one. I've painted most of the motorcycles that I have with it, the ones that I've rebuilt. So here we are. I've just loaded up the gun with the paint. This is the other gun, and you'll see straight away that the coverage that it does is far more. Right, here we are, and you'll see I've loaded up the gun. It's got the paint in, and you'll see straight away the vast difference in coverage. Done. See that? Everybody see that? Finish piece that I'm going to do now. The same wet and dry, or the same fine, very fine sandpaper. Just go over it again, and all that is because when you actually spray anything, especially timber that's porous, once it absorbs the grain or what the piece of timber or MDF is made up of, fibres will swell out. So you need to flat those off, just like you do when you're painting. You flat them off, and sometimes you have to do that twice between, depending on what coats you put on. So that's flattered off. I'll give it a blow away. So that's ready now for its second coat. So I'll just show you how quickly this covers now. There, don't worry about any little bits that come out in it, because that'll be flattered off on the next coat. Right, here I am back with the small sample piece, and that's dry now. You can tell how quick drying it is. Give it another, there's nothing on it. Here we are back with the small sample piece. And I'll just give it a quick coat over. There we go. That's your final coat. You see that? Right, here I'm back again. I'll give it another sort of lightly rub down. This is its third coat. I'll excess dust off. And here's for the next coat. You see that? Right, welcome back. We're at the computer now. The board's dried, that I painted, I sprayed. And now we're at the computer, and what I've done is the little round sample that I did, what I've done is I've just put that on the you'll see in a moment on the engraver, and that is just to show you what happens. It's to test. You always want to test the paint, and this is just a test. That's all it is. All I'm going to do is do a fill engrave, just see how it comes out. I'm not going to separate anything because there's multiple layers in this. I've just put it as one layer, and I just want to see what the paint reacts like. I've done it at, as you can see up there, this is what I know, because I have it set in my library down here for MDF painted, and it's engraved, and I've assigned that to the layer, the fill layer, and it's the speed is 1500 millimeters per minute, and the cut power is 55%. So go back to the laser, and we'll just frame that. Now here we are at the laser. I'm using the LC40, and what I'm going to do is, that's the sample piece that I painted first. I've just shown on the other camera that I'm going to frame it now. So this is framing the job. So that's framed it now, back to the centre. So now we'll start. Put the extraction on. Now this is set at 1500 millimeters per minute, 55% power. Probably could have done with cutting down a bit more, probably about 40% power, and up in the speed with probably about 2000. It depends. This is what the sample piece is for, and the pattern that I'm actually cutting is, as you see, is quite an intense pattern, and there's multiple layers in there, which means there's fill, there's lines, all at different powers and different speeds. So I've just put it down to one layer just to test the paint. That's all I've done, and then I'll show you from there. Now this is the finished item. As you can see, it looks burnt, but go. But this would, because it's been done, this could have been reduced power, and obviously faster, and as you can see from this, let me show you, there you go, and you can see the texture on that. Gives you quite an effect, and that's probably down about, it's engraved about 1/2 mil, that, so I didn't need to go that deep, but as I say, it's just a pattern, and that's the residue that comes off. There we go. You know, when you're putting anything in a frame like I did for Mother's Day, then it really does pop. Right, okay, I'm going to frame it now, and you see it frame. And you can see the little red dot, and that's it. so I would get 2 out of this. And where that is set now is exactly where it's set on the start position on the actual grid like them. So what I'll do now is I'll move the extractor over so it picks most of it up. I think all we have to do is actually start. It's been focused, focusing the machine. So now it's start. You can see the grid is secured into this corner here with 2 plastic stops and there. You see the other plastic stop there, one there and the other one up there. So that honeycomb is pushed right into this corner, and I know that that laser, when it comes, starts there, 0, 0 on there. So anywhere when I use position the laser, I can look at the grid, I want it to start there, place my timber there and it'll start there. And that's how I do it. Everybody has their own way of doing it, but that's my way. As you can see from there, this is the original layer, and this is the sample piece I've just done. Now, it's not, as I say, it is only sample. I know it's not in the centre because I just wanted to get it on and try it. But if you look from the light, you can see the details. About 1/2 mil down, and same as that one. You can see it there, and across on there. There's no burning around the edges, nothing. It does burn somewhat if you use a different type of paint. I found this to be the best paint. Oil-based paints don't engrave as well, because this is water-based and it's satin. Because it's satin, it doesn't reflect as much neither. It doesn't affect the power of the laser. So, as I say, that it's pretty good. I put some smoke out when it's you know, it's like what else with it is. You could, some people use it without extraction, but it's not recommended. There we are, it's on the cutting stroke, and the cut is 200 millimeters per minute at 100% power. And that should finish. There you go. And it's returned now to the start. I'll switch that off, switch the air assist off, and there we are, job completed. And then we'll take that off from there, and then we'll clean it up. There we are. We'll move the extractor away, the air assist off, and that's this is the beauty about working from a honeycomb panel. Now I'll pick that up now, and that's it. I can get another one out of there, and this is the piece all cut. And what we'll do now is I'll show you it cleaned up. Spray a bit of water on the unit, and then don't try and get it all off in one go. A bit awkward with one hand, but and there we go. 2 items done. If you look down it, really difficult. Sometimes you're best putting a light underneath it, like get a bit of reflection, but you can see the detail in that. And when you put it in a frame, and I've had requests for quite a number of these, but obviously it's past Mother's Day. I didn't get a chance to do any, but yeah, I must have had 35 requests that people wanted me to do that particular frame with that, or they wanted to frame it themselves. So I hope it's helped. The way I've shown you is my way. There'll be other people's views on that. As you say, that's the first one, the sample. That's that one, and that's that one. The detail from this machine is superb. No burning around the edges, it just wipes off. As I say, that's the residue, that's what it takes off, you can see. And it's only done with water and a bit of kitchen towel. You don't spray the unit, you wipe the kitchen towel with the water, or spray it with the water, then wipe that off. Get what you can off a clean piece of kitchen roll, dampen it, then do it again, and until it comes up clean and white. Right, I'm back around now. As I say, this is my way of doing this, painting. MDF's good for it because it's a good substrate, good surface to paint onto, and it's solid. And as long as you use the right experiment with the paint, various types of paint. It's, you know, I've engraved glass, and I've used the zinc spray paint, cheap from Lidl, $2.99 a tin. It works perfect. But I've also used coloured acrylic spray paint that you use on these acrylic car bodies, remote control car bodies. I bought a tin of that, put that on, and it coloured it. So, you know, it's part of the thing with is trial and error. Is, you know, try something, it don't work, try something else, do it a different way. You know, I've done that for all on the CO2 laser numerous years now, Christmas Eve box and various other things, and I thought, try it on the diode, works a treat once you've found out that the power settings and what have you, spot on. So anyway, I hope this video has helped, and for all those that requested me to show them how to paint it and then engrave and cut as well with a painted surface, then now you know. So as I always say, until next time, be careful out there, take care, bye for now.